What is up, you guys? It is your boy John here from Puma Plow. Welcome to another On the Farm. I really do appreciate you guys clicking on the video. How's it going today? So guys, today we are going to be working on the old case 995, and our problem is that the injector pump is going out. The tractor still is running fine. However, the injector pump is basically like a waterfall of diesel fuel as you drive the tractor around right now. And by the way, let's take a listen here real fast. Oh, that 4-cylinder just purring with no muffler. It sounds so different with the muffler on compared to with the muffler off. You really wouldn't think it would sound that much different, but holy jumping. I guess because of the hood, and it's just the whole thing. It sounds so different without the muffler on. So what we're going to be doing, guys, to be able to work on the fuel pump, or to get the fuel pump off of the tractor, it will be so much easier to get to it without the bucket, the loader bucket, the K60 front end loader. It'll be so much easier to take that off to be able to get to the injector pump. So that is what we're going to be working on right now, is taking this bucket off. This bucket has only been off of this tractor probably about 3 times in my life, and I turned 30 this year, so yeah, this tractor is 40-something years old. The bucket's been on it most of its life. Grandpa bought this tractor used back in the day, and the guy that had it before him ran a dairy operation, had dairy cows, and he used it to like muck out his building, I guess, is pretty much all he used it for. Hence why he had the bucket. So what we have to do is put these legs on the arms for the bucket here so that it will stand by itself, but we're, getting them on is a little interesting at times. If you guys are wondering, this tractor only has somewhere around 1,600 original hours, and we really have not had to do a lot of work to this thing. It has a new starter, not an original starter. It has a water pump. We had a water pump go out a few years ago. God, that's probably been like 5 or 6 years ago already. The water pump died. Water pump, starter, and the initial fuel pump, the purge pump, whatever you want to call it, on the other side of the engine. That went out as well. But really, that's not bad considering the age of this tractor. It's not too bad. So, and of course, minor things, maintenance, oil, fuel filters, that kind of stuff, maintenance does have to happen. So to take the actual front loader off, you have to take the controller off of the bracket here, basically, and that stays with the actual front loader arms. You do have 2 hydraulic hoses you have to unhook from the control valve that go back to the tractor, and that supplies a constant flow of oil to the control valve. And so what you do is you actually take the 2 hydraulic hoses that go to the controller and you hook them to each other, and then you're good to go and drive the tractor and do whatever you need to do. So yeah, this was a bit of a process. It wasn't warm this day at the farm, but it was humid, and being in this particular building that only has 1 door, it was pretty warm in there, not gonna lie. We did turn the tractor off as much as possible. For a few reasons, we didn't want to smoke ourselves out of there or anything. So yeah, so there you go. See the control valve coming off
Trying to go on top
of the actual frame, I guess you could call it. Those orange pieces are part of the bucket, the upright orange piece there, and we were hoping to leave those on, or at least leave the left side on, because that's where the fuel pump is. But it's just so much easier to get that out of the way entirely.
Take it around like you're going, yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, this is part 1 of this fix. There's going to be at least 1 more video about this. Mainly because we're working on it over, say, probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks real life. As of recording this voiceover, which is the Friday before this video comes out, the pump is still on the tractor. So getting to the pump was a bit of a challenge and a nightmare. And that's what we're working towards in this video. So backing out from the actual bucket, and like I said, it's only been off probably about 3 times in my lifetime, so it's really weird for me to see the tractor without it. It looks like an entirely different tractor, honestly.
Now I can do wheelie.
To me, it really does, and I was amazed driving it back to the shed how light the front end feels now. You feel like you're just bouncing the front end. So you can see there that paper towel, there's a white paper towel laying there. That is right below the fuel pump. And it's just raining diesel on that side. And apparently it's been leaking for a little while. We didn't really notice it until, I'd say a couple weeks ago. And then we decided that, you know, we just can't let it leak like that. We need to do something with it. So what I'm actually working on now, guys, is taking the frame off for the bucket, the actual part that stays on the tractor when you take the bucket off. You can see everything is covered in diesel. Everything is covered in diesel on this side of the tractor, and we just decided that it would be a lot easier to take this frame off of the tractor as opposed to leaving it on, so that we can get to that fuel pump a lot better. And we may end up taking the hood off. I don't know. I'm not sure about the hood. I hope not. It's not that big of a deal. We have had the hood off before. When we did the water pump, we actually left the frame that we're about to take off on the tractor when we did the water pump, the starter, the other fuel pump. So this particular piece of metal that's coming off the tractor here in a second, I can remember one time in my life not with this piece not on the tractor, basically. Dad can remember a couple times helping Grandpa take them on and off, but one time in my life, and like I said, I turned 30 this summer. And it's kind of amazing that we've had no need to take this off of the tractor, so we left it on there. And this was a particular bolt that was being a real booger. We only had to take off 8 bolts, which really isn't bad. There's 2 in the very front, 2 right here, 2 on a cross member, kind of underneath where your feet are on the tractor, and then 2 all the way in the very back. This frame goes literally from the front to the back of the tractor to distribute the weight of the loader, I guess, you know, evenly across the tractor. So, but this particular bolt, we will be buying a new one. The threads were a little boogered up, and it was just making me very angry. Hence why I'm not using the audio from the GoPro that was mounted to my face in this video. Just, I cussed a lot, and I can't put that out there. So, there's that. All right, so all the bolts are loose. Like I said, all 8 of them, all bolts have been taken off. And we used the floor jack to help us out a little bit. It's a pretty good-sized piece of iron we're moving around here. And another set of hands would have been great, but Dad and I managed. Dad's becoming a little bit more limited with his hip being so bad. I'm sure you guys have all noticed he walks with a cane now and stuff, but you know, it's all good. We make do. We take our time, and we get the job done, you know? We really do. So it is all good. But we need to weasel it out. Something like that. Maneuver it away from the tractor here. And it was kind of funny, because there's all kinds of stuff in that upright that we didn't know was in there. We found an old putty knife. I'll have to show you guys that in a future video. It just fell out. It was like, okay, didn't know that was in there. But you can see this piece of this massive framework here, how it goes all the way up underneath the back end of the tractor. It's kind of interesting, actually, and to see the tractor without it, it's so strange to me. It is so strange. It looks like a different tractor. It feels like a different tractor when you drive it now. The front end, like, it steers so much easier. Not that it steers hard, because it does have power steering, but you lose so much front weight that it's just so different now. It's just so different. All right, so here we go. We're going to muscle it back, and we ended up leaning it against the door in the shed, and it's out of the way now. We will continue to work on getting the fuel pump off. The next thing we're actually going to be doing is taking a pressure washer to the tractor. That's not something we do ever, but we are going to do it just to clean it up, so that we can see what we need to work with and all that good stuff. But that'll be in a future video. I do appreciate you guys watching another On the Farm. Make sure you hit that like button for more. Subscribe if you have not already done so. And as always, toodles.